Standardization, automation, centralization, digitization, reorganization, all these are necessary for every company to survive and thrive. However, one of the harsh outcomes is typically that of layoffs. My next guest was laid off with 350 other people as a result of this company wide exercise. She was also one of the best leaders in a male dominated industry. Ironically, it also happened 15 days after she received the highest increment nationwide. Friends and family turned their backs on her. She became a topic of gossip, ridiculed, and termed a failure because of this. Little did anybody know that this dark period was the door to her sunshine. Today, she's an advocate for women empowerment and she is in the process of transforming many lives. She found her calling and she's never been happier. Ladies and gentlemen, Anuradha Goyal from Pune, Maharashtra, India. And if this is your first time, my name is Candy, your host for the show. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope you enjoy the chat. A very warm welcome to Candid with Candy. Hi, Anu, how are you today?
Thank you. I'm good, Candy. Thank you so much for having me here.
You lost your job in 2019, and this was something that you had, been doing for close to 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So, can you
Yes.
tell us a little bit about, what happened?
All right. So, as you said, I was into corporate for 14 years. Okay. And I was doing quite well in my career. And you see, I was heading as a state customer service manager for Maharashtra and Goa region. And my core forte is customer service, and I was into logistics. So I was handling a huge team, and everything life was, pretty well. I was at the success ladder of my career. Senior management has timely recognized and appreciated my work. And on June 23rd, 2019, company honored me with the best of the best increments, I would ever say, across pan India. And out of the blue, life took a complete turn for me. And exactly after 15 days of increments, you see, I received a call from my boss, and she revealed to me that management has taken a call to cut off customer service network at the state level. And she told me that, we have to let your team go. So I was like everyone else, I shivered. I was into panic with whatever she said to me. And even though I was given an opportunity to move to Mumbai, but mine is a nuclear family, and my son was 11 years old at that point of time. So I could not give my instant decision, and finally they asked me to resign.
Yeah, that's, as you rightly said, that's the terrible truth of life sometimes, right? With the unfortunate event of your job loss, Anu, um, something even worse happened, right? You saw that many of your friends and including family members, they started putting a distance from you. They started talking less to you, and you kind of lost them on the way. So why do you think that happened?
I've always stood for my friends. I've always stood for my family as well. I mean, I would say I would give this question a different perspective altogether. And I would say that whatever happens, it happens for a good. So that, you can see the true colors of the people. And that's what happened to me. And there were some of my friends, they stopped calling me. Some pretended to be very busy, and I did seek for a help with some of them, but I didn't get that kind of help from anyone. So I was glad that this all happened in my life so that I can face this truth. And yeah, I took it very positively. And one thing which I understood was like not everybody is honest in life, you know. And it's very important to understand that what kind of people we hang around with. Yeah, because when when life is good and everything is fine, people are with you like honeybees. And once this news was out, like they pretended that as if didn't knew me at all.
Wow.
Yeah, it did pain me at times. I was hurted very badly. The job which I lost was not a pain, but you see, the backstab from my friends, from my family, that hurted me more than anything else, because I knew that I will do something in my life. I'm not a person who will, give up easily in life. And yeah, but then I accepted that fact. And in fact, it gave me an opportunity to reflect on my relationships.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was the first thing which happened to me. And I got that intention of setting the boundaries, which earlier I didn't knew. And I took that step immediately to cut off those people from my life, So I guess
filtering the true friends and the fake ones.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. Everything happens for a reason, and everything happens at the right time in life, because at least that's the way I feel. That's the way
Yeah.
God plans things for you.
Yes.
But definitely what I want to bring out is the stigma, right? And this is not necessarily only for you, for anybody, especially when you are at a senior position, right? Like yourself, you were kind of leading customer services for the company that you're working with, and you have over a decade of working experience, and you had a large team, and there was a lot of what you would also call respect in society. And suddenly when people learn that you've been asked to leave or asked to resign, they directly correlate that to the person's ability to work, their competency. And because of that reason, a lot of people don't want to be friends with a failure.
Yes.
And I think this is my perspective. I think that is what happened to you. So many friends will feel embarrassed to hang out with you because they think that you're a failure, and somebody else will talk about them saying, why are you hanging out with a failure? And that is so superficial, right?
So here I want to add something. Like, when I was figuring out everybody in my life at that point of time when all this happened to me, there was a point when, people, they did a lot of bad mouth about me, So again, that facing that reality was again a different thing altogether. Yeah. So, but then I have accepted that and I took it in a very positive way. And I have no complaints about anything. So yeah, life is there and we have to keep moving.
If nothing else, it makes you thick-skinned, and it gives you that much more drive to kind of prove yourself to yourself, not to anybody else.
Exactly. Yes.
Right. And that is my next question, right? First of all, can you explain probably the dark period right at the beginning, right? It's very shocking when you feel like somebody's been a really good friend to you, that sense of betrayal at the beginning, right? See, eventually you woke up and you said, you know what, this is going to be great because I'm a positive person. But right at the beginning, I'm sure there was a lot of hurt and pain that you felt.
I'm a very workaholic person. I used to worship my work like anything. If my shift is of 9 o'clock, I used to be in the office by 8:30. So it was not that what people did to me and what they spoke about me, but what I was missing was my passion of working and getting that craving of getting back to the corporates again. I kept thinking about like what everyone else is, somebody else would have been in my place, would have thought the same thing. What next? So that thing haunted me like day and night, how do I move ahead in my life? Coming to my family, everybody was busy with their own routines.
Right.
Yeah. And all of this sudden, my life is stopped and I don't know what the hell I'm doing at home, because I hardly used to be at home.
Right. That was tense, right?
Yeah, I think that was tense, a kind of, depression, I would say, a kind of anxiety, which I had gone through. But then it's absolutely okay to be in that situation as well. And I think it has given me an inner strength to overcome like whatever I have gone through. And yeah, I came out of everything.
I think today it would be right to say that you're happy you were in that bad situation because
Yes.
it has brought out so many sides of you,
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you were doing that same job, you would have still been, doing customer management.
Right.
Would have never known about you as a life coach or you as an author,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
best things come out of the worst situations sometimes,
Yes.
and we won't have been talking on the show. I understand that you were feeling, that frustration that, oh my God, what am I going to do? You were at a very uncomfortable spot.
Yes.
So when was that wake up call? Because eventually what you did was, do a course in life coach, right? Life coaching.
As I told you, the stigma of losing my friends and the way they treated me, it also took a bad toll on my health. I have gone through a very severe medications, and then that's how I thought that, I should get into learning and healing myself first. And I enjoyed that very much. And yeah, that's how I thought that, this would be a right move for me.
Did you go through life coaching yourself before you
Yes.
got trained? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I got
Yes.
it. No, sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went through life coaching, and that's when, because of the effect it had on you, you felt that, hey, this is something I want to do.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Now that makes sense. That makes sense. So now that you're a certified life coach, I believe you do coaching mostly online, obviously because of the pandemic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, those are online, and I focus majorly into one-to-one coaching.
Mm-hmm. How has that experience been for you, being a coach?
I think, that has changed my life to 360 degrees, I would say. And every woman needs to be heard.
Mm-hmm.
So women is going through so much of things, adjusting in the family, sacrificing her own career, doing
Yeah.
so much for the people. And despite of that, I feel that people are not happy. They're not living a fulfilling life. Like in my own friend circles, I used to see people like living a robust life. But that inner happiness is missing somewhere. The inner confidence is missing somewhere. So, I feel very glad that I'm able to hear people's pain. I'm able to hear people's pain. I'm able to transform their life.
Great. No, that's great. I think we definitely need that safe space for women to speak their minds, to speak about their desires, to speak about their anxieties, depression, and just that safe space where they're not going to be judged. And, there is another woman or another person who's there to help them out. And they know that, nobody's going to take advantage of them in that situation. So what you're doing, I think, is absolutely fantastic.
I'm able to be a friend to someone.
Mm-hmm.
They are so very comfortable sharing everything what is happening in their life. And just to add something, like one of my friend, a very close friend of mine, she committed suicide just because she was not heard. And that has again given me a trigger, and and it has developed a passion inside me that I should be able to help as much as women I could.
To all the women who want to be heard, you can get in touch with Anu. We'll send her details in the description. So now let's quickly move on to your book. What you also did as you were coaching is you started writing a book. Now that is also something that I'm sure just came out of the blue. And how did that begin?
So book writing was like, I when I was working into corporates, I was actually working in a male dominant culture. Yeah, I was the only female leadership there. And I personally had to go through a lot of criticism, a lot of harassment, I would say. There was not one thing left for me that, people didn't try out to pull me down. Yeah, but I stayed strong. I was very committed to my work. That one thing gave me and power to write a book. So it was like my personal journey and my corporate journey all together of whatever I've been through, I've written in that book, and how I have overcome those difficulties.
If we can learn from you what you did, I'm sure that can in turn help 10, 15, 20, 100, 200 more women, right?
Yes.
And for you to take that stand and to actually write a book about it, to learn the process of writing a book, that's not easy. You just can't sit one day and say, hey, I want to write a book, because it has an entire process. There's a whole learning process. I'm sure you went
Yes.
Multiple trainings on how to do it, how not to do it. You need to get editors, publishers.
Yes.
It's a ton of work, and you've done it. So congratulations on the launch of your book. So with that, I want to ask you, right, how do you want your son to see you as a woman, as a mother? Like, what learnings do you want to leave behind, or share with him?
The first thing is like, never giving up on your dreams, standing up for yourself, no matter life takes you to, which direction, always stand up for yourself. And I personally follow 3 virtues, and they are very, very close to my heart since, childhood, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty, kindness, and compassion. And last but not the least, respecting women's.
Yeah. No, I think that's beautifully said. Short and sweet message. Continue your great work, whether it's in life coaching or being an author, or just being the person that you are as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, as a friend.
Thank you so much. And I just want to share a small message here.
Mm-hmm.
People try to hide their pains. And what I feel, whatever experiences I've gone through, what I personally feel is it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay.
Being vulnerable is one of the biggest ways of showing courage. And people don't understand that.
Right.
I think that's a very important message. And you being a life coach, you know that most. The next section is called the rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Absolutely.
Do you prefer tea, coffee, or water?
Water.
Do you prefer the beach or the hills?
Hills.
What's your favorite Indian sweet?
Gulab jam.
What's the best thing about Pune?
Weather.
I thought you'll say that. Okay. What's your favorite time pass with your son?
Playing badminton.
Can you give us one line from your book?
Courage, clarity, and consistency.
Those are the 3 C's we should chase for?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every woman needs to do that.
Complete this sentence. Women are?
I would say most powerful.
Your favorite show on TV?
Kapil Sharma.
I think we had a wonderful discussion and we got to learn a lot from you and from your life.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you, Candy. And I would, I feel very happy to be a part of this today's, program. And I'm very, very grateful to you for giving this opportunity to me. So thank you very much.
Thank you, lovely people, for watching my show. I hope you enjoyed it. For more of such great stories, please continue to check out the rest of my videos. Till next week, take care. Ciao.